Hi, it's Michelle back again, and today we're going to be showing you how to use the Fantasy Moon and Prism paints, as well as the Vitrail paints. These paints are oil-based paints, so you'll need your terps or metho to clean them up. If you don't like your hands getting messy or it's sticking to your hands, you might want to use some gloves when you're working with these paints. What I really love about these paints is the effect that you get. They dry like an enamel, so they dry hard, and all you have to do to get this effect is pour them out and maybe blend a couple, like swirl a couple together. And that's it. And the difference between, we've got two different types of fantasy paints. We've got a Fantasy Moon, and it has like, it dries in a swirly sort of pattern. And then you've got the Fantasy Prism, and it dries in like a honeycomb pattern. And when you put them together, they do this gorgeous little, beautiful little dance. So much fun to play with. And by including our outliners, we can get some nice detail outline effects, as well as, you know, creating some gorgeous patterns. So these are with the glass and the fantasy paints. So there's just a few things that you can do with them. So they're great for colouring your embellishments. They're great for creating gift items like tiles. And yes, there's just so much you can do with them. I like working with skewers when I'm working with these. And you need to give them a really good stir. Okay, so right now I'm just going to do a little bit of testing with them, just so you can see how each different one reacts. And you can sort of see already in there some patterns happening just on its own. So this is the green and gold prism. So this one will dry in the honeycomb pattern, and you can see it already starting to sort of collect in its honeycomb pattern there. And this one is a Fantasy Moon. So I'm going to add the moon over the prism, and this is the metal blue. That is reacting beautifully. Yum. Yum yum. That is yum. Okay, so our next test, I'm going to do the moon, then add the prism. And what moon shall we go with? We'll go with this moon. So I might just write the colours down we've just used as well. I think that was green gold. Okay, so this is the moon, the salmon moon. Maybe let's go silver. And we'll add a little swirl on this one. Beautiful. Might add a little swirl on this one. Okay, so that's mixing the prism on top of the moon and then the moon on top of the prism. So you're getting very similar effects with both of those. So now we're going to try a moon on moon. Pour a bit on there. So this is a fantasy moon. And I'll add another moon. Tilt those to get them to run. Do all sorts. Okay. Get a little bit. I'll leave that one like that. So they're using the prism colours. Let's do a glass one now. And your glass paints, the Vitrail glass paints, have a little bit more transparency to them than what your fantasy paints do. They also dry a lot sort of glassier sort of finish. So you can see the black on here is the glass paint. So it has a smoother sort of shinier finish, I feel. So I'm going to put a moon in that. I'll put the sand, I think, in that one. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. And you can see it's starting to really do a gorgeous little dance through there. Just drag on there. Beautiful, so now we'll go. go with English red. Putting some gold. So you can see that's sort of going into the prism a little bit because it's still really wet. So if you let that background dry a fraction, it will sit more on top like this one here. So this one was put on while it was wetter, so it sinks into the image a lot more. It sinks into whatever the background paint is. So that was Prisme. Okay, so another thing we can do with them is layer them all together. So let's start with red in the Vitrail. So I'm putting the glass one down first. So this one's going to be reality plus then I'm going to go some Prisme in the middle. So this is another layer of Vitrail in here. And we'll finish off with a moon. And we shall go look at that colour that's happening. It looks like the gold's going in underneath the red. How gorgeous is that? That is looking quite beautiful. Okay, you can also stick some of your chipboard pieces to some acetate. And the trick is to not overwork them too much. So if you sort of get, they do their own little things, so if you try not to overwork them too much, you're going to get more effect than if you blend them all together too much. You can hear the curlews screeching outside. And another thing you can do too with the fantasy paints is make your own little enamel dots. So you can put them straight onto your page, or you can put them onto your non-stick sheet and then pull them off. Okay, so I'm just going to show you an example now of what happens when you overwork them and just how you can fix it. I don't think that you can ever really do anything wrong with these paints. They just go together beautifully. But if you're losing your patterns and colours, you can just bring in another colour. I'm going to add what's the first one I did? Yellow. Let's add some green. I'm just going to show you if you like swirl too much. Oh, I quite like that. I'm trying to create a mess here. See if you over swirl it and you sort of start losing your patterns. But that is just like, ooh, I love that. Okay, let's have another go at making a mess. Now we're going to add some moon. I'm not having much luck here of creating just a yucky mess. And a couple of droplets of yellow. That's looking yummy. So much for making a big icky mess. So let's try and create some room here. So you can see the rest of my desk. You would just like die at how messy it is. So I'm going to try and get that